So this is probably the most traffic I've seen in DC. And like traffic by means of just like a bunch of cars going back and forth versus the ratio to like pedestrian spaces. Joe told me that there's no metro stop to Georgetown. Like the closest metro stop to Georgetown is a half-mile away. And then it's kind of a thing, it's on purpose. It's one of those like, we don't know what a metro stop, but we'll bring in a Georgetown, that sort of shittiness. And so you apparently have to drive into Georgetown if you don't live here. And the lots, like they're making hand over fist. It's $13 an hour, $13 for up to an hour, and then $23 after that. And those lots are tight, really tight. And it also has led to like all this driving back and forth in what I think would be a really, well, is already a nice pedestrian space. There's a lot of people walking around. I don't know. Well, I do know. And I have an opinion. And my opinion is reduce car prioritization. Have metro stop in Georgetown. Like, it's shitty to not. Especially since DC has such a great metro system. Like, just extend it to here. And then you won't need, I mean, I was going to say you won't need to charge all this for parking, but like somebody's profiting from that. So. And I get the sense the businesses here get plenty of foot traffic. So the normal thing of like, well, if you increase foot traffic, it'll be good for local businesses. I think they're already doing pretty well. And I think they'd complain that if they can't get people driving in as easily, they might lose business. We're jaywalking. So, I'm here today for a downtown tour, or not a downtown tour, a food tour of Georgetown. And so I left it for the last day of the trip because the only time available were like Friday, Saturday, and I knew checkout was Friday, but like the food tour is at 1. My checkout's at 12, and I've had my car parked all week since I got to where I got, and I figured I could just like, okay, drive somewhere to Georgetown, park the car, enjoy the food tour, go home with a full stomach. I think it's good planning. I think it's worked out pretty well. Now, if I had any complaints to make about how this whole Georgetown trip has gone, I would say that those time estimates that I read for like, oh, this is how long the museums will take, like 2 to 3 hours for the big museums and like 1 to 2 hours for the little museums, that's completely ridiculous. That's like nonsense. It's a lie, a blatant lie. Maybe it takes that long just to walk through the museum if you read nothing on any of the signs. So I guess I made my list of museums I wanted to see, and I knew pretty quickly that like, okay, I'm not going to be able to see most of these. I thought maybe I'd see half of them, a little less than half. Really, I spent 2 full days at the African American History and Culture Museum. I mean, I'm glad day 1 we did like the Capitol tour and the National Archives and the Library of Congress, because otherwise I might have spent 3 full days there, you know? I think the other big museums are Air and Space, Natural History, and the American History Museum. And I wonder if they're the same where like you could spend a couple days there. I'm not super upset though because I really enjoyed that museum. It's the best museum I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, I guess I just wish I'd had more expectation management. But like I said, after I learned like, oh no, this museum is designed that you cannot see it all in a day. Like they were very intentional about that. It's like, okay, then I'm just doing the museum right. You know, I'm taking it all in. I really enjoyed the monument tour. I think that was also a great decision to not just be like, oh, go look at the monuments, but to schedule a walking tour because the guide planned a good route to see the monuments. And I think I got a lot of information about them that I would not otherwise have had, which is like the purpose of the tour, right? I also liked when I was at the African American History and Culture Museum when I would overlap with the tours that were being given, and I would get some like great contextualization for whatever time period was happening, whatever was happening in the time period, or the layout of the design. I don't know. I think I'm just in planning for this trip to DC. I watched a lot of DC Trip Hacks YouTube. Really great channel. Listened to his podcast a bit, and I am a full convert into like the benefits of a tour when you're visiting a place. I think it's a great way to learn with like a knowledgeable tour guide who can tell you like everything that you need to know. It makes such a big difference. So, highly recommend the monument tour I went on. Next time I come to the museum, I'm probably going to try to do a tour now that I've seen most of it on my own. And because I did notice like the tours for the museum wouldn't have given me enough time to read absolutely everything like I was doing. So. I don't know what this is. The food tour starts at 1. I kind of didn't want to stand around. I was like walking around exploring a bit, though I should probably sit because I'll be walking a lot for this tour. And I don't want to get tired before the tour starts. That's another thing. I think day 1, it's really great that the place I stayed was like walking distance from the Capitol building, right? Walking distance from the National Mall. Really convenient, but walking there kind of started me on a bad foot for the day. I think I have learned that I have limited stamina and limited endurance still at this point with my leg. So it would have been good to, I guess, conserve some of that for like being on my feet all day. And so that's why every day after I ended up just taking a lift to wherever we were meeting up, wherever I was going for the day. Alright, I'm gonna enjoy this shady spot in the park, this is Rock Creek Parkway, pedestrian detour. And then I'll head over to where the tour starts, when the tour starts. But so far I've really enjoyed my DC trip. I've enjoyed the weather, I've enjoyed the city, I've enjoyed the food, I've enjoyed Joe, I've enjoyed the museums and the monuments. It's been really great.
Heart of Georgetown. We're going to get off of there and we're going to go into the beautiful residential district of Georgetown for a nice, pleasant, beautiful day walk without a cloud in the sky. You guys picked a great day to do it, so let's get started. Oh, I also have this spray fan.
I was going to ask you where did you get that spray fan?
Amazon. You can use it if you want.
Oh, no, it's fine now. Thank you.
Ethiopian restaurant.
Ethiopian is a good place to eat.
Yeah.
It's a rotating stop on the tour for like evening tours.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that the Ethiopian food scene is like a big thing in DC.
It is huge here, and that one has been Michelin recognized.
Wow.
It's very traditional, your Ethiopian food, but
Okay.
he makes it very visually.
Yeah. Gotta try that next time.
Absolutely.
There's also, I worked at the student union at VCU when I went to college there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we called it the Commons, and we had a lot of Ethiopian students, and they would put on, events in the place, and they'd always have food.
Oh,
It was
nice.
so good, always so good. That was my first Ethiopian food experience. Nice day.
Yeah.
Well, we've been saying that like Rock Creek Park was like one of our things we wanted to try to do this week, but hadn't really had time for. So
This is the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull off over here. You guys don't have to stand in the dirt if you don't want to, but watch out for cyclists and things that come through. This, as you pointed out, is Rock Creek Park. It's the beginning of Rock Creek Park. It's kind of like DC Central Park. It runs from here all the way up to Maryland, basically. It's like 3 or 5 miles long.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can hide a lot of bodies in here. Just kidding. I don't murder, but they have happened.
Oh, no.
For real? Is it fast?
Yeah, yes, some famous ones actually. You can look that up. But this isn't a ghost tour though. So.
Has that happened recently?
No,
Okay.
no, nothing recent. But like there's like senators' aides and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's
Like
some
things
sort
like
of like
that, yeah.
political
Yeah.
subterfuge.
Exactly.
Someone's trying to hide something.
Exactly.
Ooh.
But that's not, again, this is not a ghost tour. This is more of a history and food tour. Georgetown was founded the way it is now as a neighborhood, as a town, neighborhood / town in 1789, same year the university was founded. And it was actually originally a part of Maryland. It didn't become a part of DC until about 50 years later when DC restructured their boundaries, and then Georgetown, as it is today, became a part of DC and all that sort of thing. The first contact of Georgetown was in 1640. European settlers came in and stumbled upon a native Nacotchtank trading village. Nacotchtank, which the Anglos took and mutated into Anacostan. So that's where the word Anacostia comes from. The
didn't
river,
know
the
that.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the early to mid 1700s, Maryland colonizers came and kicked all the Nacotchtank off of the land that is now Georgetown. It's actually a very beautiful and perfect place for a trading village, I would imagine, where the Rock Creek meets the Potomac River. It would have made a lot of sense. It still does, because the English settlers actually made it a port town eventually.
Yeah.
There are two men who are the namesake of the neighborhood Georgetown. Any guesses as to what their name was?
George Washington.
Good guess. Good guess. It was not George Washington.
Oh, was it?
It was two Georges, though. George Gordon and George Beall.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of a hard question for me to throw at you right away. It's not really
No.
a fair one, but...
I always assumed it was George Washington.
Me too. Or King George. A lot of people say King George, and when they started saying that, I was like, that also makes sense. But
Yeah.
two tobacco farmers. All of this was tobacco.
Okay.
And they created warehouses for tobacco to dry and to treat up on the Potomac River. And boats would come, and this became a port town in the mid-1700s, early 1800s.
Okay.
And it was perfectly positioned because the Potomac River actually becomes very treacherous just west of here, at a place called Great Falls in Virginia, actually. The river becomes very rocky, and the elevation shifts, and there are whirlpools, and seafaring vessels just kind of can't get past there. So they had to stop here to load and unload goods. And tobacco was our best good of the day, I guess. Very much so. Eventually, the neighborhood went through another change in the 19th century, and then the early 20th century, and it's more like it is today. It's shopping, dining. There are 6 embassies here. Qatar, we'll pass by the Thai embassy, and a few others. But there are also, throughout history, many important people and famous people have lived here. And our first stop is this yellow house behind me.
Cute.
And located on the aptly and appropriately named Olive Street for this food tour.
Olive.
Let's go check it out.
It's very cute. I love the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, those gotta be here.
Should get a picture. Also a picture of that while I'm here.
You'll find out.
Oh. Oh, poodle.
Aww. Big one.
Standard poodle.
I'm gonna give you a grade, like the best rating you ever had in the
Oh yeah, do that.
app.
Do
Because
that
you
too.
waited an hour, so you must be like,
that
you
too
waited
if you
an
like.
hour for the whole team. That's something you're not gonna find anywhere else.
Definitely TripAdvisor and Google, and if you want to, do that as well. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
I will.
2706 Olive Street was the former residence of renowned chef, basically one of the first celebrity chefs. Anyone want to take a guess? Julia Child.
Wow.
Used to live there. It was built in
cool.
1869 by Edgar Murphy, a prominent member of the black community in town during the Reconstruction era. He was a famous architect of the day. Julia Child and her husband Paul purchased the home originally in 1948. Before she was a famous chef or anything like that, she worked for the OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, which was a precursor to the CIA. And the State Department. Essentially, she and her husband Paul were spies.
That's so cool.
Before she became a chef, a public figure.
So now I understand why you're doing this. You're a spy too.
I'm trying to keep a low profile. This would be the wrong way to do it. But she, they only stayed a couple years there originally, 1948 through about 1950. Then Paul was stationed in Paris to be a spy, basically in Paris. The posting was kismet though for her. She loved to cook. She loved French cuisine. She joined and studied at Le Cordon Bleu in Paris. And 2 French chefs picked her to collaborate on a French cookbook for American audiences to make French food much more popular through her, an American, to bring back here. They did move back here in 1956. Her little jewel of a home, she called it.
Aww.
She started to teach local housewives cooking classes out of the home. She renovated the kitchen, which is where she got the big Garland stove that later became famous on her show.
Yeah.
But when her husband retired from the OSS, they moved to Cambridge. They took that stove and the whole kitchen with her from the house, and that's where she became a TV personality, basically, in Cambridge. They did return the stove here. She did donate it to the American History Museum, the Smithsonian, so if you wanted to see the kitchen, you could go and check out the Smithsonian, the American History Museum as well. Julia Child's house. I saw you taking pictures. Anyone else want a picture or anything? I have another funny little anecdote that's personal.
Could I get a picture in front of the house?
You want to cross?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know if we could.
Yeah. So
I know somebody lives there now.
Yes. And therein lies my anecdote. You'll see the mat in front of the door. It says B&B on it. And so people ask, and I just assume, oh, that meant it's a B&B now.
Yeah. Is it?
No, it's their initials. The people who
Oh.
live there. Because I just got done explaining that to a group. Ready?
Let's have this up.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Lovely.
Thank you.
I just got done explaining that to a group, and the guy comes out and is like, it's not a B&B. Those are our initials.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, man.
That's amazing.
The big guy. came out and he's like, no, those are our initials. And I was like, sorry, guy.
Oh, I have a nice balcony up there.
Pay attention to the facades of the homes. A lot of people take a lot of really great care and attention to detail in some of the features. These seem to be a little bit newer.
People live here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You'll see some houses that look so old you won't believe people there.
Ooh, these are beautiful.
This is why you have to do the tours, because I lived here for 10 years.
And you
I
never come down the street.
Never seen this part of Georgetown.
Yeah, the residential area in Georgetown is super, super beautiful and quaint looking and just historic.
Yeah.
And you'd never see it unless you just get out of the car and walk around.
That's true.
Georgetown Bear.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, is that
want a
a?
picture?
Sure. Thank
I think
you.
that's just, I think that was an actual international art installation. And there are bears like that all over the world. And that's just one that these people bought, I guess.
Getting something like that up in a register or from the
Did I watch the bear?
Yeah.
We had like 5 or 6 horses out. And see
Yeah.
If you want more, just let me know.
In the,
Oh, thank you. This is great.
they do
Oh, it's so cute.
light
I'm
art.
gonna take a picture of the
So
bear.
coming up,
Of
Yeah,
the
I
bear
could,
only.
I could take one with you with the bear.
Thank you. I don't even have makeup on. Thank you.
Oh, look at the door knocker.
yeah, exactly. That's
Oh.
the kind of thing where it's like,
That's cool.
I like to point out the numbers on that door, just like super classy. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess they don't have central air though. There's a
Probably not.
window unit.
Oh yeah.
There's some trade-offs.
I like the woodpecker going up.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh, I gotta get a picture of that. I'm like, zoom in. Zoom in. That's a cool door knocker. That's the one I would want.
Yeah, it's fun. If I had a door knocker,
Yes, if I had a door knocker,
it'd be a woodpecker.
it would be a woodpecker. Oh, I would make it a northern flicker.
I'm gonna stop you guys real quick kind of in this shady patch near the tree over here.
Okay.
Just to check out this row of homes. Now, most of us, you guys have been here long enough, right? Row homes, especially in the East Coast in this country, are pretty everywhere. They're pretty omnipresent. These are just kind of a unique style, and they're also very common in DC, so we like to stop and point them out. specifically for their spiral staircases, their
Yeah.
bay windows, and in this case, the English basements are kind of unique to the DC row homes. The English basement is just, it's got its own entrance. It is connected inside the house, but its own entrance is here for when they were built. It was basically just a kitchen and for the servants to come in and out without disrupting the family above. You'd also take deliveries there. Since then, they've been converted into their own units or just other rooms in the house. But I'd say people who end up in those English basements kind of come out on top in summers like this,
Yeah.
where it gets super hot and the heat rises.
Yeah.
And you don't have to lug heavy appliances up the stairs, but keep your eyes peeled for more interesting row homes and sometimes huge English basements along the way. Three things: some important government person, the military, or a news or helicopter, or like a hospital helicopter, because they don't let anything fly. Like you can't do helicopter tours in DC.
Oh.
You can't like fly your private helicopter over the air in the airspace here.
Oh, so you could tell these are new because they have a garage, I bet.
Yeah. New is in like 1920 maybe.
Oh.
I don't know officially, but the garages are still quite small. Right. I have just one more little blurb before our first eatery. I like to let you know that, because sometimes it can get a little long when you're like, I thought this was a food tour. Let's see. Pause right here in the shade for me. We're going to take a look at these row homes across the street and focus on the stars.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure maybe you've seen the stars all around the city before. They're a nice decoration, right? They actually serve a purpose. Those stars are the ends of a long tie rod. They're the faceplate of a tie rod that runs through the entirety of the building. And they've
Oh.
actually been put there retroactively to keep the building itself from toppling over under just decaying materials and shifting grounds underneath.
Wow.
So those stars are actually there for your safety. Sometimes they'll be between the first and second story. Those are actually like holding the second story, like to keep it from sliding off of the first story,
Jeez.
basically. A lot of people do a lot of fun decorative things with them. I'll point some of those out on the way to the first eatery, but star bolts. We'll also pass some where you can like literally see the nuts. Like
I never would have thought those are structural.
Yeah.
So cool.
See, like those are like just kind of painted over the same color as the walls. Some people do a lot of fun things with them. Now I think. Oh wait, we're not there. See, these are some nice gold star bolts.
Yeah.
And I can see the eatery from here.
Oh, there.
we've made it to our first eatery, Stachowski's Market. We like to refer to it as an old world candy corner store for carnivores. It's a deli, a butcher, a meat market. The man behind the market, Jamie Stachowski, was raised in upstate New York on a farm. He packed meat growing up with his cousins. And he also referred to watching Julia Childs with his mom being some of his first influence in the culinary world. He got his training at the eponymous Jean-Louis restaurant at the Watergate. Jean-Louis is notable as the youngest chef to receive 2 Michelin stars in his day. Upon leaving Jean-Louis, he and his wife opened Columbia with a K on K Street. It was his restaurant. She encouraged him to actually, instead of serving standard appetizers, serving charcuterie boards. So he developed even greater meatpacking skills doing that. When they sold off Columbia, he kept some of his meatpacking equipment and made it his own personal business until his son Yusuf encouraged him to open up this market here. It's been featured on Somebody Feed Phil. I don't know if you know that Netflix show. Most recently, he came to DC and he went to Stachowski's. And then he was also the host of Meet America, Meet MEAT, for the History Channel. It's a lovely little store inside. That's my colleague Emily there with your food, but I do suggest taking a quick look inside.
Yeah.
First, because it's a lovely old little deli. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, they're still going to check out first. Get out of the heat a little. And then we're going to eat actually out there whenever you're ready.
Ribeye, hanger steak, salmon. It's a meat market. With jams and coffee. Oh, I'm starving. So hungry.
So what we're going to have here from Stachowski's is called a Piroshki. It's a Polish meat pie. It's a lot like a pierogi, but it's baked, it's flaky, it's crusty, it's golden, it's brown, it's delicious. It's stuffed with pastrami, seasonal vegetables. In this case, it's I believe it's carrots and and rice. Sometimes mushrooms, but again, the vegetables inside change with the season. I'm just gonna show you. Just grab it with a napkin. Could you grab that stack of napkins? Grab it like a little baby, and then dig in. It's handheld.
Thank you. That's great.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And one of the things that I mention on this tour with these restaurants is pay attention to the crusts. All of the vessels that the dishes come on this food tour are outstanding. Like the buns at the next place are delicious. The tortillas at the taco place are delicious. And the crust on this is just makes it.
That's crazy good.
Oh, it's nice and warm.
We also have, this is about as local as you can get for DC food. It's called a half smoke. It's essentially invented at Ben's Chili Bowl. It's half beef, half pork, fully smoked. It's essentially a pretty spicy sausage. It'll sneak up on you. And they have their house-made deli mustard as well. So
House-made mustard.
Nice.
So we bake some and we dip it?
yeah.
Oh shit, sorry.
Oh, don't lose it.
There we go.
Yeah, don't lose it. So this is just a very, very good version of the half smoke. Again, it's a staple at Ben's Chili Bowl. If you've heard of, I'm sure you've heard of Ben's Chili
Absolutely.
Bowl.
And this is half what and what?
Half beef, half pork.
Goodness.
Smoked.
Empanadas?
Close. It's basically the Polish version of an empanada. It's called a Piroshki. It's filled with pastrami, seasonal vegetables, rice, and again, like I told them, pay close attention to that crust because the crust is really baked, flaky, soft.
Yes, it is.
Phenomenal.
It's so buttery.
And then this is a half-smoked sausage. It's basically outside of crabs, I would say. Like crab is the common like regional food. Maryland takes claim for that.
Is it spicy?
This is spicy, a little
Hello?
bit spicy.
Hello.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's not
Not too bad. There
It's
you
not too spicy.
I mean, are you... What good, huh?
go. Yeah, mustard. And then this isn't an official part of the tour, but this fence across the street, across the corner. You guys familiar with the website or the book Atlas Obscura? So Atlas Obscura is now it's a website. It was once a book. You go there and you can type any town. You can type Durham in there, I'm sure. Any town you're visiting, and they'll give you fun little weird things. This is one of those weird things if you type in Georgetown, DC. That's actually made with Revolutionary War era musket barrels.
Wow.
The man who owned the house at the time, this is probably all land. This is all land that he owned, and then these other buildings are here. He lent the U.S. government a lot of money for the Revolutionary War. And once the war was over, they couldn't afford to pay him back. So they said, come on down to the Navy Yard and just grab a bunch of surplus materials, and we'll call it even. So he went down, grabbed a bunch of British muskets, took their barrels, realized he didn't need that many muskets, I guess, and made this fence.
That's
Still
amazing.
here. Is it good?
Yeah.
Any more sausage?
Oh, I'll take another sausage if I can. I didn't realize we were allowed to have seconds on the sausage.
Almost. Thank you, though.
You guys are not very deep for that.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Last piece.
Church of the Epiphany is a street name.
I like that.
What'd you
Ooh.
think?
Loved it.
What are they? Piroshkis?
Piroshkis. I first learned about them in Seattle, funny enough, but then I had this one shortly after that, and I was like, this is delicious. They have all, it is like an empanada. They can stuff them with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Sauerkraut.
Oh.
You know.
Ooh.
How was the Montreal food tour?
It was pretty good. I think ours is better. And I'm not even being biased, I think. But that's also because I guess I know as much as I know, so I know what I like and to figure it out.
Yeah.
So like I had already eaten poutine like 4 or 5 times before
Oh,
getting
okay.
there. Poutine, and like I was like, this is good. It's up there, but it's not the best.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Their history is also kind of funny, and I'm big. I like Montreal. Bagels. Bagels is a big thing there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have 2 very old places, and it's intense how different they are. It's like shocking. It's almost
2
like,
ancient bagel places.
yeah, like right across the street from each other.
Oh, rivalry.
But it's very cool, very European, you know, old. All right, Friday.
It was Friday.
Last night, Friday. Let's see, because there's no shade where I want to stand. We'll stand right kind of here around this tree, I think, for
Okay.
this next little pointer, little tidbit. We're gonna focus on this plaque here next to the black door. That is what is known as a conservation easement. In this case, this is an agreement between the homeowner and the L'Enfant Trust. which is an organization that protects over 1,100 homes in the city. For certain tax breaks, the homeowner cannot, alter or renovate the property to a certain extent. They can't do things, for instance, like paint it a very bright, pretty blue. They have
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Very
as it
blue.
would have looked when it was built, in this case, like 1800s, 1820s, 1830s.
Okay.
This is another plaque. That's with the Georgetown Trust. It protects over 100 homes just in this neighborhood alone. So you're going to see these everywhere now that I've pointed them out. I like to point them out, though, because it lets you know that, hey, this house is pretty much old and is exactly as it was, or not quite, but, pretty close to what it was like back in the day. This one was actually just bought.
Oh.
There was an under contract sign the last time I was here. So
I wonder how much it went for.
I think almost $2 million.
Almost $2 million. Wow. Crazy.
To live in an 1830s home.
Wow.
See, here's another with the fox door knocker.
Oh, I love the door knocker. Conservation, so you can read it. These are English basements too?
Well,
Or regular
what
basements?
What makes them an English basement is the entrance.
A separate entrance. Okay. So these are normal
There will
basements.
be some.
Not special. Oh, there's like a small mom and pop pharmacy. Oh, those are so rare these days.
I think but it's been there. So my girlfriend went to Georgetown. She's told me she's given me a lot of extra tidbits for the tour as well.
Nice.
That was there when she was going to Georgetown, and
Cool.
it's just always been there. Right next to a Pilates studio.
Careful.
Watch your step.
Yeah.
What was those empanadas called again?
Piroshkis.
Pero
So they
Piroshkis.
spell it Pirozki.
Piroshki.
Great job.
where are they from again? I forget.
Polish.
Oh,
Poland. So it's like a Polish empanada, basically.
Yeah. yeah, that's how I'm gonna remember it.
Piroshki.
Come on, people. Driving around here is terrible. All right, one more real quick stop along this. Actually, this is probably good as long as we're not in anyone's way. But if you can see between those branches, that little plaque with the red.
Yeah.
That would be an old-timey fire engine. It says UF, stands for the United Firemen's Insurance Company, out of Philadelphia. Back before publicly funded fire departments, you used to have to take out separate insurance policies to protect your home from fires.
Oh, wow.
At the FBI Academy, I have a friend who works there who was a retired DC firefighter. And he'd tell me stories about these. A story is that
I think you're good.
you want this?
Yeah.
Basically, the fire department might show up, and if your house didn't have a fire plaque or an insurance plaque on it, they'd wait for an adjacent house with an insurance plaque to catch
Oh,
fire before they
no.
even bothered trying to put it out, so that they could actually be paid for their efforts.
Jeez, that's a terrible system.
Yeah, terrible system. These actually, you would have to return these plaques after your policy lapsed. These outlived the actual insurance companies themselves. There's one over there. You'll see a lot more. I'll point them out to you. From FICO out of Baltimore, Fire Insurance Company of Baltimore.
Okay. Not the credit score people.
Not that FICO. They went under in 1903 after the Great Fire of Baltimore. So funny enough, they're also actually made of wood, ironically. So
So very
what if
flammable.
it burnt up before they got there?
Jeez.
And they all have, like there's FICO. It's a different looking fire
Yeah.
engine.
That's interesting. I think it's a terrible policy. Surely
Yeah,
they knew
I'm
that
glad.
fire spreads even back
Exactly.
then.
I'm
They were
glad.
more aware of it because they were more common.
Yeah, there's probably a lot more wood.
Jeez. Oh, is this real gas fire?
Yeah, they have to pay for that themselves. It's not like
Oh,
a city.
wow.
They,
Pretty.
like, actually get it installed and like have to operate
That's
themselves.
really cool.
Some fine examples of star bolts
Yeah.
holding this building together. There's a closer look at FICO.
Oh. This
Not
is
the
perfect.
Fair Isaac.
Yeah.
Not the Fair Isaac. What is it? Fair Isaac Company?
I don't know what the O is.
That's the credit bureau.
People live here.
Oh yeah, people live in all of these, or at least own them. I don't know how often they actually live in there.
Oh.
This is my favorite insurance marker. I don't know what the company is, but it features the oldest fire engine. Just a guy with a horn yelling fire.
There's a fire.
Fire.
Oh my goodness.
And this is also a conservation home.
Oh, nice. Conservation easement.
Our last point of interest before our second eatery is this beautiful looking home here. I think this one's my favorite. I just like the shutters.
They are. They're very nice.
As you can see, there's an info plaque even for them if you want to read more. But this is the former home of Emma V. Brown. Emma V. Brown is known as notably the first African-American public school teacher in the city. I think maybe even in the country. Either way, she was born in 1840 to a free black mom who made dresses for the neighborhood. She attended Myrtilla Miners School, which was a abolitionist-funded school that was under great scrutiny, but her teachers there encouraged her to go to Oberlin College, the normal school, to become a teacher herself, which she did. After she returned here in 1860, she purchased this home and opened up a school out of the home, which is
that's
now
wonderful.
a theme of the tour, because that's what Julia Child did.
Yeah.
And now Emma V. Brown also opening up a school in her very own home. Eventually, in 1862, the D.C. Emancipation Proclamation was here about 8 months before Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah.
But the D.C. public schools didn't open up availability to black women or black people in public schools until 1864, and she was the first one in. In her summers, she would go down south to teach others in rural areas how to be teachers. And then eventually, at the end, she climbed the ranks and became principal in the DC public
Oh,
school
that's
system.
awesome.
So yeah, it's a great stop. Just for a lot of reasons, equality, empowerment, education. Yeah, and she's kind of not as known either. I did not
Yeah.
know about her until I started
No, I
doing these
didn't
tours.
either.
So.
Emma V. Brown.
It's amazing.
And she had her fire insurance.
She did.
And that knob there is actually an old-timey doorbell. You pull it and
Really?
it would ring. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's very Emma V. Brown's house. Oh, any pictures? Sorry.
Oh, I took pictures. Oh wait, maybe could I get a picture with the house?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, I like this house. It's like, I like this.
Me too. My favorite color.
Nice.
Are the blue shutters original?
See, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Is that the conservation easement thing? No, it's not.
Okay.
But it could be the kind of thing, historic home that they purposefully keep the way that it was, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like to think anyway. Because it has all the other plaques on it.
Yeah.
Hey, exactly, Manja. We're in the
English basement.
We're gonna be there in about 5 minutes. Sorry, but
Ooh,
thank you. See you
another
soon.
English basement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem. I talked to Van yesterday, but it's just gonna be four. It's just gonna be 4 brisket and 4 beers. Mm-hmm. And then the 4 beer tasters. Mhm. Yeah, 4. Yep. Thanks.
Oh,
Man, it's nice and shade. I did do a couple up to like close to 100-degree days,
oh no.
and I would just have like a bag of ice water, like bottles of
Yeah.
water with me, and 2 of these.
I'm surprised people signed up for those tours, to be honest.
I think actually looking back, one of those was the like 21, the family that did 21 food tours.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
I think they were on
They're
one
committed.
of those.
Yeah, they're committed.
Yeah, exactly. Of course they would be. Not a bad way to spend a Friday.
Oh.
Now this next place, we'll see where they sit us.
Okay.
They kind of sit us anywhere they can, I think, usually for the most part. But they do have a standing beer garden in the back.
Oh, that would be nice.
Couldn't get in there last time because it was, even though it was beautiful, but mosquitoes were.
Oh.
It was like right after that big rain, I think.
Mm.
So I don't know if they'll accommodate. Let's see.
Oh, those darn mosquitoes.
They're the worst.
Richmond weekend break.
One of the new restaurants we put on rotation is this place, Yellow, over here. I don't know if you've heard about it, if you're local. It's a lot of hype. It's a lot of hype. And a lot of lines a lot of the time.
Well,
as you can
it's
see
yellow,
right
but
there
it's
now.
it's black.
It's yellow, but it's black. It's a Levantine bakery by day. That's Yellow the Cafe. So it's like Turkish, Syrian, like Middle Eastern, Mediterranean.
Okay.
And they're very delicious spiced coffee beverages and pastries. And then by night, it's a place called Not Pizza.
Not pizza.
Not Pizza, which is pizza on naan bread, so it's like non-pizza,
Oh.
which is also Levantine, Moroccan, stuff like that, on their pizzas.
one's delicious.
It is delicious. It's very good. I think it also recently got mentioned in the Michelin book. But if you wouldn't mind, I'm not going to leave you guys in the sun for long. I'll give you a quick bit about it. City Sliders. Don't let the name fool you. I think the name is very generic and not fitting for how delicious it is. It's delicious. See, he knows. Chef Brian opened up City Sliders in October 2020. Kind of a crazy time to open up a restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
All the others are closing, but he's self-assured and he's, I think, doing a great job. It is a fusion restaurant. As a young kid, he was a very picky eater, and his father encouraged him to create weekly dinner menus in order to curb that. He too cut his teeth at Jean-Louis at the Watergate, and then he went on from there to work and revamp the food and beverage and catering for the Embassy Row hotels and the CIA. So he did all of the food and beverage for the CIA, also becoming a theme of the tour. Spies.
Yes.
Today you're going to be trying the beef brisket slider.
Okay.
It's delicious. It's smoked in-house, tangy barbecue sauce, crispy onions on the brioche bun that he has specialty made just for this restaurant.
Oh,
you can't
nice.
get them anywhere else. They do anything though, from vegan banh mi's to an American cheeseburger. You can take a look at the menu. I'll get you one inside. So let's go have a seat.
Okay.
Yeah, sun.
Thank you.
It's very nice, yeah. And there's a beer garden in the back, but I don't know if it's going to be shady enough.
Dude, should I go
Yeah, you
here?
can go in, yeah.
Hello. Okay.
And then I encourage you, there's a restroom right back through there, and I definitely encourage you to take a peek at it, just to take a look at it.
Oh, I will go see the beer garden. Yeah. Okay, let's see this. Ooh. It is beautiful back here. That's so nice. Oh, they should set us back here. It's actually very cool and shady back here. I love it. Look at this tree. Oh, very nice.
But Stachowski's also has the publicity and the hype.
Right.
It's like it kind of is the best deli butcher in town. So they need us.
Cool.
Have you ever seen this meme that says basically every time you hear people talking in another language, you feel like, oh, they must be talking shit about me.
Yeah.
I grew up going to like military barbers that were all like Vietnamese and Chinese, and I swear
Every time I do my nails, I'm like, you must be cooking shit right now, mommy. I get it.
There's definitely like some Spanish accents I can't understand. Like anybody from Puerto Rico is really hard for me to like hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I get it. I'm from the Dominican Republic, but I don't speak like a Dominican. I do, but not with foreigners, you know? Because they won't understand me.
I just like to point out this carriageway because it's pretty epic. So they take carriages down there so they could get to the house
Oh, nice.
back behind it instead of in front.
Very
I
nice.
wouldn't be able to understand me if I only sit here with my Dominican friend, you know?
switch.
I have to. Living here makes me understand that in order for you to communicate, you have to make changes.
Upcoming is the largest English basement I think we've
Oh.
I mean, I'm
You were asking me about it before. Yellow house. It's just looks huge.
Oh, nice.
Is this it?
Yeah. See, like it's its own. I think it might be its own unit.
Yeah, look at the size of that. Big English person.
Then
Nice.
after that, it
Very nice.
No, Jackie and I met in mine. We just like it wasn't Bumble for friends. It was like Discord. Or no, we met.
We met on the CBR forums,
Yeah.
the X-Men forums,
It was like a conference. Yeah, and it was like 10 or 12 years ago.
13 years
13
ago.
years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time. But this was our first meeting.
It's whenever 2012 was. No, that's
Yeah,
12.
It was like the phone call, so not this. So this is
August
Have
2012.
you? I suppose I should maybe ask how many times have you seen Deadpool Wolverine?
Haha. I've only seen it twice,
Okay.
but I'm gonna see it a third time when I get
I
home.
have not seen it.
I
can't-
loved it.
It's tough for me to bring myself back to the movie theater anymore.
Yeah,
I love
I get
movies,
that.
but-
I get that.
And I love Deadpool. I really like Hugh Jackman and his Wolverine.
Okay, then you need to see the movie. You should see it on a big screen.
I should. I really should.
You'll love it then. I think that it's like very much for fans.
Yes.
Yeah, the critiques I've read is like, oh, it felt like 2 hours of inside jokes, and I feel like that is accurate. But it's like if you get the jokes, it's super rewarding. It's like, oh, I get all these references.
Cool.
But if you don't follow it, you don't get the references, then it's just like,
Right.
whatever.
Yes, because I have, hot and cold reviews of it.
Mm-hmm,
I think that I do like those movies,
Yeah.
and I think that I would like that.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's hot and cold.
Right.
And I mean, it's a totally fair point.
Yeah.
Like if it's an inside joke that you don't get, it's frustrating.
Right. Oh yeah.
But if you're in the cool
It's
kids
like,
club,
Yeah, it's like hanging out with other people's friends.
exactly. Oh, there's like old train tracks there.
Thank you for pointing that out. I usually wait for someone to point it out before stopping.
Yeah.
Here at the P Street tracks, we just passed over this road.
Ooh.
P Street with the cobblestones and the train tracks. This is the last remaining remnants of DC's original streetcar era. Ran from 1862 to 1962.
That's 100 years. You had a streetcar for 100 years. Why'd you get rid of it?
They were a lot of horse-drawn lines around the city. These were electric. That third rail in the middle is actually unique to here and London only. It's powered from underground, as opposed to you see streetcars nowadays with the wires that hang overhead.
Yeah.
You can see those plates. There are plates in between the wires. It's how they would get to and maintain the electricity underground. The trolleys would go this way down P Street, and then O Street there will also be tracks, and they come back this other way. Like I said, it ended in 1962. Obviously, cars, buses, things like that made them obsolete. But they did return to DC in 2016. There is an H Street line. They're very scary to drive around, but they are free. They go from Union Station all the way down H Street. But this is P Street, so we're gonna have to keep walking this way.
P Street. Oh, stop lost.
Whenever I eat, I get
Piroshki.
Piroshki.
Yeah, and that is a tough one to start with, because it's definitely hearty.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I don't know if I need to eat anything else.
Did you do these in winter?
Yeah. I think we take a break January, February, start to kind of come back around in February.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it
and
does
get
make
ready
sense.
for cherry blossom season.
Oh yeah, I bet that's a big tourist season.
That's when it really pops off. There's definitely some people who come around in fall.
Cherry blossom, girl. That's near.
There. Yeah, we're still a ways away from cherry blossom, I think. So they would go all the way down to, on M Street, all the way down, there's a place called the Car Barn that's still there.
Okay.
Go all the way there, it's across from the Key Bridge, and it's right next to the Exorcist steps, the steps from the Exorcist.
Oh.
So you can go and see, they're spooky. And I guess I found out yesterday, they used to, before the Exorcist came out, they would actually call them the Hitchcock steps.
Ooh.
So they were a part of horror movie lore, I guess even before The Exorcist.
They're just built to be creepy steps.
Very creepy. See more flames.
Yeah.
I pick up more fire every time I do this.
Seems like it would shoot up your gas bill.
Yeah.
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 I mean, maybe I'd do it at night when you can
Right.
see it better, but why do it during the
Right,
day?
that's always
That
my
doesn't
thought.
make any sense. I feel like back in the day when you had to do that, certainly people wouldn't pay for this during the day.
Yeah, just put it on at night and that's it.
That's it.
Here's the close-up example of the star bolts. You can see how they're screwed in
Oh,
like that.
That's so cool. Like I always, like I've seen them before, but I always thought they were like decorative.
Right, yeah.
yeah. I would assume they were decorative too. They're holding the whole building together. It's amazing.
Someone's taking care of this place. This is our next stop. So if you want to line up on the side near the planter.
Sure.
But I've never seen anyone in or around this house before, so I'm happy to see someone like comes by who at least waters plants. First, I've been pointing out the whole time like how people take a lot of pride in the details of the facades of their house. I like to point out these funny numbers that they chose to have on this. They pulled them out of a bin at a hardware store. But this was the former home of John F. Kennedy and,
Wow.
and company. They actually lived in many places in Georgetown, but this has the distinction of being the one that they actually purchased. He purchased this home in 1959. He was running for president just about a year before he actually became president-elect and moved to a slightly nicer home over there on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh.
When him and Jackie bought the home, it's a federal-style home. They put the third story on. You can see how the bricks are different up on the third story. She was pregnant with Caroline at the time, and they intended for that third story to be a nursery. It was also used as a nursery for JFK Jr. as well. You can see pictures of them. Some of them are quite nice on the doorstep. There's one where I think he's even throwing Caroline in the air and catching her right in front of the home.
Amazing.
He's also, because he was president-elect in this home, there's video of him giving press conferences and things from the steps. There's a plaque on the side of this home behind you, because in 1960, that was a particularly brutal winter, the year he was president-elect, about to become president. Members of the press would be standing out here just waiting for a moment to catch him to ask a question in this house. Because it was so cold, they invited them in and gave them soup and let them warm up while they waited
nice.
for him. We are on N Street, 1 block away from M Street. JFK seemed kind of like a party guy. I like to think he would go down to M Street and party it up with the with the locals. But his favorite spot is all the way down N Street to Wisconsin, and we just ate on Wisconsin. If you go this way on N Street to Wisconsin, there's a place called Martin's Tavern. It still is open, still is running. That's where he proposed to Jackie Kennedy. There's a plaque on the booth in there. It's very busy all the time. We're not actually going to pass by it, but that's a place you can check out later.
Can I get a picture of
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Except for, I don't want a picture of me. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. No, maybe you should do it.
Sure.
That was wobbly a little bit there.
Awesome. Thank you.
And this is a little bit of a, I'll point out some other things that again aren't like officially part of the tour. These are things that I was told along the way. I'll point out one more Kennedy related thing as we continue on. So like I said, they loved Georgetown. Most people think of them as just Boston, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I usually hate when people don't have dogs on leashes. That was cute.
That one seemed very well behaved. That one seems very well behaved.
Very well behaved, but the thing is, you just never know.
You never, yeah.
You never know.
Oh, I've had dogs too. I have incidences.
And if it runs up to, say, my dog, it doesn't know what my dog's gonna do. My dog would happen to not care, but like, it doesn't know that.
You need nobody to like stop them.
Right.
Yeah.
So this yellow house, the second to last one with the fun wreath, I am told, again, not an official part of the tour, but I believe her. She's been here a while. Jackie Kennedy or Onassis lived there after John died. So she came back. You can see the awnings of the patio down the street for Martin's Tavern, the white awning. That's where it is. So they would just walk on down. It was also pretty hip back in the day, like a lot of baseball players would donate there, like Lou Gehrig and those like politicians.
Look at this house.
That's great.
Yeah, the circle. And the wizard's hat.
Yes. Oh, and there's the English basement. Nice bay windows.
Yeah. Not anywhere.
It's still a little full from before.
Not like.
This. Ocean. Sister Ocean. You ever heard of that?
No. Oh, what an interesting finish. It's like matte.
Yeah.
Huh. I've never seen a car like this before.
This. That's cool.
Wow.
Sorry, that's totally it. That's totally went off. That's neat.
Interesting. Look at the door
Not
handles.
Part of the tour, not part of the tour.
They're like perfectly, yeah, it's like perfectly flush with the car.
I need a type of Tesla.
Right. This place is pretty brand new. It used to be a sandwich shop called Buoy Mongers, but it's like a French steakhouse now. And it's usually slam packed and it's tiny. But I've not had the chance to Le Bon Vacher.
La
See
bomba show.
the pretty cow?
Aw,
Is that what that means?
I think so.
See, I can understand some foreign languages. I just need to speak. And when you speak fast like that in Spanish, there's no way. You'll never understand. That.
And I'm not even speaking as fast
No,
as
yeah.
the Dominicans.
Yeah.
You
I feel like we go around that framework of just like
Falafel Inc. is a local DC chain. I think it's the best hummus in town, personally. We do use it for some of our other events. We do things called like Taste of DC, which is basically just like a one-stop food tour where we bring a bunch of different DC restaurants to like your event.
Oh, is that the one at one of the museums, right? Is that the building museum? Or okay, yeah. They do those in July, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been warned that July is the hottest month in DC and the most crowded.
Yeah, when it
4th of July.
Yeah.
Oh, the metro's crazy in the metro. They have to wait for like the police to let you in and like.
Wow.
Yeah, I try to stay away.
You guys.
So this is M Street. This is where it's going to be very crowded. We're going to cross, but we're just going to post up over here until we get the signal.
Okay.
This matza, I guess, is what they're making it. It's one of the original market building across the street. There's still one in existence called Eastern Market where you can go and buy your meats and your breads and things like that in an old world style. But they're turning this into some fancy Italian restaurant, it looks like. So we're coming up on that industrial looking period of Georgetown up near the waterfront and the canal, and I'll point out when we can cross the smokestacks that were still part of those original tobacco factories that I mentioned at the beginning.
Are we going to the canal?
Yeah,
Oh, great.
that's pretty much the next stop.
Yeah. In the water.
And it's drained right now, so I will.
Oh.
They're doing construction. I'll point out they're doing like maintenance on some of the adjacent buildings.
Okay.
There is water in the canal down west of here, but in this immediate area, it's unfortunately drained, and it's a big disappointment. So I wanted to let you know.
Thank you. I would have wondered why there's a big hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Where's the water?
Como le digo, no sé si llego a las 6 a las 7 o el lunes, pero es que desde ya tengo días con la
Oh my goodness. That's gorgeous. I love macarons.
You need to go to Paris.
Be
You need
nice.
to go to where the macaroni were created.
Yes.
Yes, this is the fancy shopping high-end district.
Okay. Endless summer collection.
Oh, well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think July was the most.
Oh yeah, it doesn't do much.
Sorry.
Water.
Sorry.
Black-eyed Susan and some cone flower. Oh, it's beautiful. What a nice garden. I love black-eyed Susans. They're my favorite summer flower.
Home.
Actually, yes. Yeah, it's came back up last year. from last year.
So this is a fine. We're going down that way, but this is a nice place to take a photo. This direction or this direction.
So this is usually filled with water.
This is filled with water. In fact, these wooden planks are new. These were here when I was here last week. And you can see down there, we're actually heading in that direction. Those big metal beams.
Yeah.
They're doing maintenance on these buildings that line up so they don't crumble into the canal, basically.
Okay.
And if you keep going that way, there will be water. But I'll tell you more about the canal.
They must have drained it a while ago for all of these plants to have grown there.
It has not been filled for months. Yeah.
Okay.
They've been working on it for a while. You can do boat tours when it is filled. Do little boat rides along the canal.
That's nice.
So this is the C&O Canal. Does anyone know what C&O stands for? Nope. Chesapeake and Ohio.
Oh.
Basically, the idea was to take a canal from the Chesapeake Bay to the Ohio River in Pittsburgh. Didn't quite make it that far. It does go 184.5 miles to Cumberland, Maryland, which is a part of the Ohio River Valley, so we can keep the name Chesapeake in Ohio, I guess, for that sake. George Washington was an original proponent of a canal because, like I mentioned before, the river gets really rocky and choppy just a few miles that way, as just a way to bring goods to and from the Ohio River Valley. You take industrial goods that way, bring back agricultural goods this way from the Ohio River Valley. It's controlled by locks. That's how it's drained here, but still has water over there. There's 74 locks, and this dirt path that I'm standing on is the original tow path. Basically, they would hook up boats to donkeys on the tow path, and the donkeys would just drag the boats up and down
Oh, wow.
the canal here. It's now a national park since 1971. People bike it, people run it. You can rent one of those lock houses as Airbnbs along the way. You can go all the way from here to Cumberland, Maryland. When you're there, you can get on a different trail to take you all the way to Pittsburgh as well. If you do that whole thing. Let's see. Other than that, any questions?
So when will they refill the canal?
Good question. I would have expected it to be filled up by now. When I was talking to you about the Capitol Crescent Trail, this is quite literally, like, it's actually down there on Water Street, but this runs parallel with it for a while. So if we just kept walking, you can see the Capitol Crescent Trail right next to it. It's a very lovely walk, adjacent to the river. Yeah, see you.
I love your curls.
Oh, thank you.
They match your earrings.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Next stop, the third eatery. And then the fourth eatery is, truthfully, just right across the street from
Oh, okay.
third. So we are nearly over, unfortunately.
Oh, no. I feel like it's gone by so fast.
But if you're, a national park person, you can cross this one off. You've been on the C&O Canal towpath.
You can stamp my little book thing.
Yeah, see, they've got machines down here doing something.
Yeah.
So you're right, like, this wasn't this high.
No, like, yeah, these are not aquatic plants.
Look at that. Flower.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah. I bet the soil at the bottom of the canal is really rich in nutrients too. Everything grows up quickly. Oh.
You missed it. I got you.
Thank you.
Popular bike path.
catching all the feathers?
I did. I saw a sparrow go into these rocks here. So
Oh, apartment buildings.
yeah, literally, right? Just living in there.
Tacos. If you have particularly good eyesight, you can see underneath it says "Farm to Taco," which is their motto. It is a vegetarian taqueria. Started by two friends, Suzanne Simone and Bettina Stern. Suzanne's an environmental scientist. Bettina is a journalist. They teamed together. They started Chaia actually as a blog in 2009, just a couple of friends sharing recipes. And then in 2011, they opened Chaia as a farmer's market stand. And it was so popular, they opened up their first brick and mortar in 2013. They've got two more, one in Chinatown, one in Bethesda, Maryland. And Bettina Stern has been on a bunch of industry panels to talk about the sustainability that they tout. They do seasonal vegetables for different tacos to rotate their menu and actually work directly with the area's farmers. It's a really good motto. And it's delicious. Again, the vessel is a house-made corn tortilla. I'm not a corn tortilla fan, personally. It is the best corn tortilla I've ever tasted. It doesn't fall apart. It's delicious. And inside is their signature creamy kale and potato soft taco. It's a creamy kale mixture, roasted potatoes, pickled onions, salsa verde, pepper jack cheese. It's pretty delicious.
Okay.
So let's go get that.
All right. How do we get up? How do we get up there?
We go this way.
All right. Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, we gotta swim. We swim if we can. So this used to be a mall.
Oh.
Now there's still bowling. There's still like a bowling alley, and that's about it.
Oh, so you got a Chaia right here. You ready to go this way?
Yes. For you guys hanging out, I don't know how late you're gonna hang out, but there's a club called Blues Alley over there. It's like a jazz club.
Oh, I was gonna have to go for cops.
No. It's like a sit down and listen to blues music.
Okay.
If you
Where
like
is
that kind of
it?
music. So you take a left and it's the alleyway across
What
the
is the name of it?
Blues Alley.
Blues Alley.
Yeah. It's a really cool old, my grandfather used to go there. Really cool music.
Oh, bowling alley. I love bowling. I haven't been bowling in a minute.
Yeah.
One Strikes, Bistro Bowling, Bocce. Yes.
This is huge.
Yeah.
It's very long. And this is what I refer to. Be careful with the parks.
Oh.
Because I did walk this almost entirely. Like, you know what I mean? Like a good portion of it.
Yeah.
Where I was like in Georgetown, but like outside of like the.
Yeah.
And it felt dangerous.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'd come back at night.
Yeah. I was just like, think my comment, you wouldn't understand it if I didn't show you.
No, I get it now.
Sorry, I totally got away from you guys.
Oh, we were looking over the bridge.
Oh yeah. Great views. But yeah,
Oh, we're upstairs.
Can we take a look at
Yeah.
Oh, Chaia Tacos.
this? I think these are the preparations. Oh, I thought it was ice cream. Never mind. Maybe there's. Is there lunch?
Welcome.
Hi, do we have ice cream here or just tacos?
Just tacos. Dessert is across the street. It is not ice cream, unfortunately. Although when you look today, ice cream sounds pretty good. Tired?
Yeah.
A little warm. Just a little warm.
Creamy tail of potato.
Es que no dejas char.
Jones. That one. Do you have?
Ooh.
So good.
Sorry. I just found out there's a really interesting row of homes that we passed down, or we can pass down this way on Wisconsin and pass by the Thai embassy, which is also kind of fun.
Choose which one is the best one.
Well, let's go this way, just because I want it. So with Georgetown and now Loyola Chicago, they can take business classes and things like that, but also work for the online business and in the bakery itself. That's part of the nice heartwarming story of Georgetown. But Mr. Smith has, I think, a cooler story. It's not as perfect. So I just moseyed down Cecil Street for the first time the other day, and I was totally enamored with this clearly very old row of homes that is wedged in between a couple of more modern, large buildings for office space and or condos or whatever. And there's the Potomac.
There's the Potomac.
But the trees, and they're funny. They're funny. You gonna do a picture? Good idea.
Oh yeah.
Their tiny little yards are. Oh, you want me to take one for two of you?
Oh my god, I'm gonna try my best to look skinny.
You're doing a great job.
Oh wait, the last one. Thank you. Hi. The air.
See, like this. Who the heck lives here?
Yeah.
Owl.
Love an owl. Gotta love an owl. Okay, let's take a picture of that owl.
Not like the Kennedy house.
Rock.
See, so they call it the paper mill, because I think they're what used to be there wasn't an actual paper mill. But their townhouses, condos. Yeah, look at what they do with their tiny little yards.
Yeah, it's a little
Impressive.
bird bath. Little fountain.
Bueno, realmente
Oh, cool rocks to climb on by the river. Love that. Love when there are big rocks in the river to climb on. Favorite thing. Very slippery.
Alright, man. That's a good rock. Come with me on this side for a second. See the signs and the menus. This is Mr. Georgetown. We call it the friendliest tavern in town. What was here before was a place called Chadwick's. When it was called Chadwick's, A, they would serve underage college kids beers, so good for them. B, there was a man named Aldrich Rick Ames who used to come in here. He was a CIA operative. He would come here and sell out American secrets to the KGB. He's still in prison for that to this day.
Wow.
That happened right here in this building. When this was Chadwick's, Mr. Smith's used to be up on M Street. It's a piano bar, so every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, starting at 9 p.m., you can do live piano karaoke.
Nice.
Give the piano man your song and he'll play it and you can sing. The piano player, when it was on M Street, was a person known as Tori Amos. Used to be the piano person here for Mr. Smith's. Like I told you up at Chaia, best apple pie in the city. Please tell me there are no nut allergies because I almost killed someone once. There's like walnuts in the crust. Good?
No, not allergies.
Let's do it.
Another spot.
Oh yeah, I think it's the Kennedy Center.
It's the
Kennedy Center.
Oh, where? Oh, the big white building.
Yeah, there's like a ton of
That's the Kennedy Center. Oh, cool.
I think you can sit anywhere over there.
Oh, I can't see you.
Hey, where do you want us? Booth?
I love a booth. Oh my God, is that Obama? And oh, yeah, it's all of them.
So that's the Dems.
Yeah,
And
the
this is-
Democrats
this
and
one
the
over here is
Republicans.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Well, there's your boy, Teddy, looks like.
Oh, he's not my boy.
But he was the one you wanted to see.
He is. I think it's cool that they put his memorial in a park. I think that's very fitting.
Makes sense. So we also do some of our events here upstairs. We did the terrarium class I mentioned right upstairs in the like upstairs part. And if you need to use the bathroom, it's up there.
Oh my God, she has her own little plate.
She
Oh.
does, and she's very mad. She always is.
Aw. Look at that. So that's the Kennedy Center over there. And that's something. These are pigeons. We got some teenage mallard ducklings, pretty big. Oh my goodness. Birds have had a field day with the sign. From seaport to national park. Georgetown waterfront used to be a port with wharves and seagoing vessels, and now an industrial site, and now it is a national park.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, this is a great tour. Thank you.
Good. Have
Had a good time.
Get home safe. Okay?
I will. Thank you so much. What's down there?
That's where like it's more of like a mall, and that's where the like the skating rink would be and stuff.
Ah, okay.
I scared them.
I'm just getting one last goodbye video of the waterfront and the fountain and the water and the rocks. It's a beautiful Friday.
Absolutely.
I'm glad this has been a great week.
Yeah.
It's a good last day. Great city. They really should put a metro stop in Georgetown though. The one blemish on an otherwise really great and thoughtfully designed city. L'Enfant would want a metro stop in Georgetown.
Right.
He would want one. He would demand that. They should honor his memory by making one. All right, that's it.